what he said was that during the Trump years, that China's link of influence was broken, but they look forward to being able to determine outcomes at the highest levels of the American political system, with Biden coming into power and with their friends in Wall Street getting more influential. And the other thing that Dee said, and this resonates with the Chinese population, is that they were saying that no American could resist what China demanded, that every American could be bought. And when Dee specifically mentioned the word Hunter Biden, there was a large laughter that you could hear from the live audience.
Gordon Chang is our expert on China, and he joins us now. Gordon, thanks for being with us. So let's go through some of the entanglements or potential entanglements that the Biden family has. And when we say the Biden family, it's not about Hunter. It's about the sitting president of the United States, who was a vice president at the time as well, and a presidential candidate. Let's start first with the Penn Biden Center, which, of course, is in the news right now. Republicans are asking the University of Pennsylvania for information, especially about this money. We know about $50 million came, right? The anonymous money that came in, do you think that that was directly from China?
I think it certainly was. We know that it was from China. We just don't know the source. And it came in after the University of Pennsylvania announced that it would establish the Biden Center. And that was the informal announcement was in 2017. Also, after it was formally established, there was more money coming in from China. And this, of course, is deeply troubling because the Penn Biden Center really didn't look like it did very much. The president essentially got a no-show job, and a lot of money shoveled into his pockets. Came from a source that certainly disturbing. There's so many things to unpack here.
What about the Chinese energy companies? Apparently they, according to Hunter too, were part of the intelligence agencies in China. So it's again intertwined. But we do know that Biden met with Chinese officials who were partners of Hunter in China and in the White House when he was vice president. Isn't that a direct link, and isn't that a smoking gun as well?
Yeah, CEFC China Energy, which is the company you're referring to, was nominally private, but eventually was taken over by the state. But we've got to remember that even if a company is nominally private, it is subject to the dictates of the Communist Party because two things. First of all, there's China's 2017 national intelligence law that requires every Chinese person and every Chinese entity to spy if it receives a demand. But more important is the Communist Party's top-down system, where nobody and no company can resist a demand from the Communist Party on anything. And that means that this link really is very close with Hunter Biden and with the top of the Communist Party.
Aside from the intelligence that they might be able to get, what is China's ultimate goal here in working with the son of the former vice president, now the president? What's their goal?
Their goal is to get what they want from the United States. And this was illustrated very graphically by a well-known Chinese academic, Di Dongsheng. On November 28th, 2020, after Biden's election as president, but before he took office, Di gave a lecture in Shanghai, which was live streamed across the country, where he talked about this relationship between the Communist Party and the White House. And what he said was that during the Trump years, that China's link of influence was broken, but they look forward to being able to determine outcomes at the highest levels of the American political system, with Biden coming into power and with their friends in Wall Street getting more influential. And the other thing that Dee said, and this resonates with the Chinese population, is that they were saying that no American could resist what China demanded, that every American could be bought. And when Dee specifically mentioned the word Hunter Biden, there was a large laughter that you could hear from the live audience.
So let me ask you point blank. Do you think, knowing what we know already from what's been public and probably more to come through these investigations, do you think our president of the United States, Joe Biden, is compromised with regard to dealing with China?
I think so, because the money has a taint. But there's something even more worrying, because, money always leaves a trail, and eventually we will get to the bottom of it. But we also know that Hunter Biden, by his own admission, is a troubled individual. We know that he accompanied his father when dad was vice president. If he did anything on Chinese soil that was the least bit compromising, the Ministry of State Security will have evidence of it, and that could be used for blackmail against the father. And the Chinese don't even have to say anything. All Joe Biden has to understand is that the Ministry of State Security does have something on the son. And like every son being protective of the children, Biden could very well be making decisions that are not in the interests of the United States because he's worried about Hunter's future.